866-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Opinions flying. And that includes at the stadium course. What a thrilling morning and afternoon. Sun splashed, sundresses. The only problem, I think I was the only one there who was completely sober. You know, it is a little record that I have that I don't talk about much, but it is the truth. It is the God's honest truth. This is the 34th year that I've been doing radio. I've never had one sip of alcohol before I've gone on the radio airwaves. Just thought I'd share that with you. People just assume that it would be the other way around. I mean, that's old school, you know, radio guys always boozing, and that included play-by-play guys, particularly in the sport of baseball. And there were days earlier where I would do remotes and, 20 minutes in, I'd have a big daddy. But, man, those cocktails were flowing today. What an unbelievable atmosphere. The players has never looked better. And if you had that opportunity today, you got a great one. You have it again tomorrow. I always recommend practice rounds. You can see a little bit more. The galleries are not as quite as thick as it's going to be the 4 days of the tournament. And certainly, the weekend is just a mess. It is. And I say that in a proud way. I mean, it's a good problem. It's not a complaint. It's just such a staple around here. And it creates the greatest week that is non-football related during the calendar year. And today was awesome because I just had people, many of which I are friends with, but I haven't seen in a little bit of time, but just walking up to me saying, man, they did this, they did that. I'm real excited about this. I'm not necessarily excited about that. But, I mean, you could feel the energy. And I hate to do this to you, but I think back 2 weeks after the season had ended and Balky was still running things. And again, it was. I think it would have been another episode on this Tuesday of The Walking Dead. There would have been people moving throughout the Players' Championship this Tuesday practice round, barely alive, because they knew that they were screwed as Jaguar fans. Today was anything but, man. Electricity, just absolutely one thing after another. So it really was. It was a spectacular day out there. Followed a few golfers, followed Ricky Fowler for a little bit. He was out there with Tom Kim. Followed Tony Finau today. Spent most of my time, which I enjoy most, right around the par 3 third hole. And then, again, you turn around, you watch the golfers practice. Also, there's 3 different putting greens there that they can work on. And they're out there with their coach, and they got all these type of devices. I mean, it's they're measuring, and whether it's the stimp meter or just an actual, balance. It's pretty remarkable, the technology that goes into it during the practice rounds. But anyway, great day, and I know that's going to continue for most of you. You're going to be able to make your way out to the Players' Championship. You kind of know the law by now. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get out. There's no other way to say it. You can only handle so many people at one particular time. And as we move forward in life, we also fully do understand that driving has become more of a challenge. We have to allow, particularly the youngsters of America, to drive with one hand and monitor their cellular telephone with their other. So just relax, take a deep breath, keep it right here on 92.5 FM. We'll get you in. We'll get you out of the Players' Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Okay. Daniel Griffiths is going to join me in 20 minutes, and there's a lot of things I want to get with Daniel as far as some of the newest members of the Jaguars. I think you'll find this quite interesting. I'm looking forward to the conversation myself. Grades are starting to pop in, right? The Jaguars today don't do anything after they made 9 huge moves a night ago. And, you know, I keep getting asked, what is their current status as far as money that is left? I'll tell you that Spot Track has them still with $38,893 left, but that's not the official number. First off, they rank it by the top 51 players, not 53. That is the way that Spot Track does it. They have also put through on the active roster 6 of the 9 players, okay? Diami Brown, Hunter Long, and Nick Mullins, neither one of those 3 contracts have figured into anything that Spot Track has done. But I just went through it. These 6 players, Patrick McCarry is the 10th overall on the Jaguars payroll if you look at most expensive all the way through. He comes in at number 10. He has a cap figure this year at $6,333,000. It's then Jordan Lewis at $5,830,000. He comes in at number 12. Eric Murray is 17th on the list, $3,666,000. Robert Hainsley comes in at number 20, $3,583,000. Chuma Edoga, $3 million straight up will be his price tag for the 2025 season. That comes in at number 24. And then Johnny Munt at 26 comes in at $2 million, 2.25, if you will, $2,250,000, 26th overall as far as the payroll for the 2025 Jaguars. So 6 of the 9 are in. Again, Brown, Long, and Mullins haven't figured in. I've been told that it's going to be probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about $16 million to pay the 10 draft picks, which is only, 44 days away. I mean, blink twice and that'll be here. Point is, Jacksonville still has room to make a move, to make a trade, whether it's before the draft or it's during the draft. If there's a proven veteran out there that you want, they can still find a way to crunch these numbers and go out and add more football players. What we know, 9 added yesterday. You have 10 draft selections coming up in the NFL draft. I would not be surprised if you see them add another free agent or 2, maybe let the market set itself a little bit. And, hey, just about every year an undrafted free agent comes in, plays for the rookie minimum, bounces someone else out, becomes on the bottom of your roster, but it becomes a financially wise move. And especially with what the Jaguars have done recently, the big signings, as well as hopefully, depending on who you believe and what you believe, some future signings coming up for this football team. I got to believe starting with Trayvon Walker, right? I don't think they're going to redo Devin Lloyd. I don't know if there's anyone else coming up that you can really look at right now and say you got to get him re-signed. I've already given you my opinion on Walker. I'd wait 2 years. I would. And the Josh Sweat contract was a little bit more down to earth, right? It was a little bit more salvageable. And I'm not comparing Trayvon Walker to Max Crosby. I'm not comparing Trayvon Walker to Myles Garrett. I'm not even coming close to doing it. But that's where his agents are going to begin, right? That's where they're going to start. And they're going to drop it. But you also have to take into consideration that as we move forward, it's only going to go up. Be cost effective to sign him once that league year begins tomorrow. I still do not know if you want to pay him what the going rate is. Why not let him play out this year and see what he does? See if he does improve. Let him play out next year. See what he does. See if he does improve. If he drastically does, then what I'm saying right here, right now, is wrong. It's completely wrong. And then he's going to ask for an incredible amount of money. But When's the last time the Jaguars have re-signed one of their own drafted players and he's ended up earning the money? I'm all ears on that one. I'll sit back and listen. I don't think you can provide for us a good answer. Maybe outside of Logan Cook. And you can be a big Josh Hines Allen advocate and tell me what he did and tell me, okay, all right, I'll listen to that. And Trevor's hasn't kicked in. And Tyson Campbell was injured. And Walker Little, there's always an excuse, is my point. There's always something, right? Who's the last guy who re-signed around here that was drafted here, who lived up to the contract? That's what I'm asking. I ask it all the time. And I can't get a good answer. You know why? There's really not one. That's the risk that James Gladstone is going to have to look at now with Tony Baselli and company. You build through the draft. People who were upset with this free agency class yesterday, remember what Gladstone said. They're going to build through the draft. Okay? They filled some important positions yesterday. How many starters did they acquire? 4? Maybe 5? Okay? They bridged the gap to make them a more competitive team. I think they got rid of those who were comfortable with losing. Hopefully brought in some players that effort-wise and attitude-wise are going to make a change for the better. But, this is early on. Again, I'm just amazed by the comments, both positive and negative, by this free agency class that came aboard on Monday. All right, Bill Barnwell, who I'll start off by saying I really admire. I really enjoy his work at ESPN as an NFL writer. He's basically with ESPN Plus. He just destroyed the Jaguars. He came right out and said the biggest loser, it's the very beginning of the article. Loser, the Jaguars. Far and away, number one. And he gives example after example after example. He starts with Dynami Brown, saying they shouldn't have given him $10 million a year. Points out he actually makes more money a season than Derrick Henry. So the Jaguars already made a difficult decision, one that has not worked with Gabe Davis. Okay. He goes on to say that he doesn't believe that Brown is even better than Parker Washington. That's why Daniel Griffiths is going to come on here in just a couple of minutes. I think there's an assumption in town that Brown is in the slot. He has played the majority of his snaps in Washington outside, but we'll discuss that. I happen to think that the Liam Cohen offense is going to keep you guessing. He's going to move these wide receivers all over the place, and that includes Brian Thomas Jr. So he goes on to talk about that. He then really questions Jordan Lewis, as I did. Yeah, I thought they were set with Jarian Jones in the slot. Now we have to figure out, can Jarian Jones play outside? Jordan Lewis is a solid slot corner. He becomes the highest paid slot corner in the NFL. Bill Barnwell points out that, let's see here, last year he allowed an 85.3 passer rating. Okay? Also gave up that big pass to Terry McClellan from Jaden Daniels during that late in the fourth quarter miracle victory late in the season for Washington. He goes on to talk about Eric Murray. Okay, $22.5 million, which is shocking given that the market looked like for veteran safeties last year and early on this year. So, again, he thinks they've overpaid for 3 players. He thinks they've overpaid for Brown, they've overpaid for Lewis, and now they've overpaid for Eric Murray. He does like the signing of Patrick Macari. I happen to like the signing of Patrick Macari. My only question, if you look at this guy in his career, he has snaps at all 5 positions. The one that has the least amount of snaps is right guard, where it figures he is now going to be the starter in Jacksonville. Coach him up. I guess everything will be okay. But again, you paid a heck of a lot of money for him. Brings up Robert Hainsley, as we know. The guy got beaten out a year ago. Does have starting experience in 2022 and 2023, but they paid him just a ton of money as well. So not a good look there. He also gets on the Bengals and the 49ers, but it's not too it's not normal when anything comes out that is NFL related, that deals with this covering the league, we're Jacksonville's first. And I felt that way since 95, 96. I knew why that was the case then. Small market. You can't make that excuse now with social media. Everyone is everywhere. Jacksonville gets more attention, but this one screamed this morning of, oh boy. I mean, front and center, number one, loser, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't agree with that. But that's what Bill Barnwell wrote. So if you want to comment on that, by all means, 641-1010 on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. What we're going to do here on Into the Night is the exact opposite. Positivity, people. Okay? Screw the 4-13. The push forward begins. And I'm going to bring on Daniel Griffiths, and we're going to talk about some of these newly acquired players and what he believes they're going to do position-wise. I really want to talk about the route tree of Dynami Brown. I mean, the guy got 30 balls a year ago. Okay, the guy's played 4 years. He barely has over 700 yards. He had a great playoff. But one of his strengths, apparently, is the screen game. He also has the ability to run by people. He could be a deep threat. But the screen game is something we keep hearing with Liam Cohen. So let's get into that. That's what we're going to begin with our friend Daniel Griffiths, and that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. I will tell you that tonight's show is brought to you by Shmunez Vision. You know what's great about Shmunez Vision? I'm out at the golf course today. I'm watching the practice round, and I can see the names on the bags. And that's pretty cool. I had a couple of people say, do you know who that is? Do you know who that's like? Well, yes, that's Tom Kim. You know, he's out there playing with Ricky right now. And you know, I hate it for you because eyes are a very difficult situation, and your eyes change depending on whether you're checking out something that is rather far away, and then all of a sudden you want to grab your phone, you have to read, you need to go find your readers. You know just how troublesome it can be. So the first thing you should do is just set up an appointment at Shmunez Vision. All right? Get your vision checked. See where you are as far as your eyes, and they'll certainly set you in the right way moving forward. But there's so much more that you can do, like laser eye surgery. Imagine having 20/20 for the rest of your days. Imagine never having to be concerned about looking at your phone, reading a book, or looking at the TV, or trying to figure out who's on the fairway on a golf course. It's incredible. And they have more than 30 years worth of experience directly when it comes to laser eye surgery. Check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials at Shmunez Vision as well. All right, we will handicap this year's Players' Championship coming up at 7 o'clock. The Boston Capper will join us. But in the meantime, let's look at some of these new members of the Jaguars. Daniel Griffiths goes into the night next with Rick Ballou.
Hey, what's happening? This is Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins.
Intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the greatest free safety in the game.
You are listening to 1010 XL.
The Hoops action continues on the first Friday of the tourney. Watch the madness with 1010XL and enjoy madness specials all day long. Starting with Helmets and Heels, live from Big Dog Sports Restaurant on Blanding. Then join XL Primetime at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island. The Frangie Show will be at String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach. And finish the day with Into the Night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark at Top Dog Tavern on Old St. Augustine Road. Now that's the way to celebrate hoops.
I can't believe it.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course, featuring the theplayers.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Listen up, poker players. March is heating up at all 3 Best Bet locations. The Bad Beat jackpots are now uncapped, soaring to new heights, so don't miss your chance to win big. Plus, get in on the $42,000 weekend windfall, featuring $1,000 high hands every Friday and $500 high hands on Saturdays. And starting March 3rd, the Race to a Race promotion is back. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
My name is Joanne. I'm 75 years old, and I have lost 35 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. I was pre-diabetic. I was ready to go on cholesterol medication. My blood pressure was up even on medication. Now I have no need for cholesterol medication. My blood sugar is fine, and I actually am cutting down on my blood pressure medicine. I have knee replacements and hip replacements, and I had difficulty walking, and now I can walk without any problem. I feel lighter. I feel more energetic. It is a lifestyle that will help you to lose weight without medication.
Thanks, Joanne. Matt Hayes here. Stories like Joanne's are the reason I continue to share the Awaken 180 message. The results speak for themselves, and I'm confident you'll have the same success if you let them show you how. Do what Joanne did, what I did, and what over 24,000 others have done, and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Max Fink, and I'm your Gator Updater. Listen for the Gator Report several times a week on 1010XL.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! Ahead. We build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
What a morning and afternoon at TPC Sawgrass. Much more coming up, including the Boston Capper and his handicapping skills. We'll put them under the microscope. That's 35 minutes away. I want to tell you about an unbelievable event coming up in a couple of Mondays. I hope you'll join me. I'm going to be out there playing with Marcus Stroud, Aaron Beasley, and others. There'll be plenty of former NFL players out there, and we're going to celebrate an incredible cause. It's the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. It'll be March 31st at Marsh Landing. We'll support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. All right? You have an opportunity to win some incredible prizes. But more importantly, we'll bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of those families affected. Sign up today. Go to lonewarriorfoundation.com. That's lonewarriorfoundation.com. What an event. And I hope you'll join us. That's coming up March 31st. Marsh Landing, the final day of March. Daniel Griffiths has got some material, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Daniel Griffiths does an outstanding job with all sorts of different things when it comes to the NFL, particularly his numbers. He is a contributor at Action News Jax, and he joins us here on 92.5 FM. Daniel, how you been?
Hey, I'm excited to talk to you. It's it's one of the most exciting times in the year for the NFL, and the Jaguars have gotten off to a pretty good start with 9 guys already. So it's an exciting time in Jacksonville and across the NFL.
No doubt. Let's begin with Dyami Brown. We know he had a phenomenal playoff. I mean, it was absolutely sensational. 14 grabs for 229 yards, only 30 receptions during the regular season, and hasn't really flourished in his 4-year career in D.C. What do you see? I mean, most of his snaps have been on the outside. Is this a guy that you envision playing there? Do you envision playing a slot role? What do you see him being here in Duval?
Yeah, Dyami is dynamic. Some wordplay there for you. But, yeah, he played the majority of the snaps at Washington outside. He had 354 snaps outside, 104 inside at slot. I think that Liam Cohen in Jacksonville was really looking for a guy who could make plays after the catch. It was something that they had a lot of success with in Tampa, and it's something that Dyami Brown had a lot of success with during his time in Washington. He averaged 7.6 yards after the catch per reception.
Wow. Okay.
Which was 8 out of 110 receivers, and he forced 11 missed tackles last season. Tied for 22nd, but he was 91st in reception. So it's not like he had a lot of opportunities to create missed tackles. Both numbers would have led the Jaguars last season. So that's something, the Jaguars and Liam Cohen Liam Cohen got firsthand view of Dyami Brown in the playoffs. I posted the 2 plays. He had 2 really nice plays against Tampa in the playoffs. And, that's something that I think that Liam Cohen saw that and kept that in the back of his head when this free agency came around to go after a guy like Dyami Brown, whose quickness and speed can really be a difference maker.
You put this on Twitter and or X, Dyami Brown and his 2024 playoff gameplay. What did you learn about this wide receiver when you put this together?
Yeah, the yak ability is something that I think I really want to harp on with him because, everyone's mentioned now that Liam Cohen and the Bucs led the NFL in yards and touchdowns off the screen. And that's a big play. That's a big reason as to their success. And the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence was bottom 5 in the league in completion percentage and success in the short area. And I think that, just making stuff really easy for Trevor. Dyami Brown and BTJ both had the speed to go deep. But, putting yourself in more advantageous scenarios on second and third down, just to make things easier both for Trevor and with the offense, but also, the ability to go across the middle of the field and really make some things happen there as well. This is an area that the Jaguars were adverse.
Yeah.
They were averse to going over the middle of the field. I think they were 25th targeting the middle of the field. So that's a key area I don't know that he's going to put up, massive numbers, but I think that he'll certainly be a key contributor to the Jaguars' offense.
Glad you mentioned the screen game because we're all well aware of that, and I know that was one of his fortes in Washington. So he's clearly not the replacement for Christian Kirk, and I think that Liam is going to move these wide receivers all over the place, and that includes Brian Thomas Jr., but what do you forecast? If he does make the starting lineup, I think they'll still address wide receiver again in the draft. Where do you forecast him outside and or in the slot?
Yeah, I agree that they'll probably target still another guy. Liam Cohen loves bunch formations and some really unique looks from his receivers. As far as that's concerned, I expect BTJ. Liam Cohen acknowledged it during his introduction press conference of moving BTJ all over the field. Brian Thomas Jr. had the most slot touchdowns in 2024, despite not really playing there very much. Mm-hmm. So that's a mismatch waiting to happen, whether it's in the red zone or on key downs where you can really put BTJ in the slot and make some things happen. I expect Parker Washington to play in the slot a lot more. He didn't really have the opportunity to do that this past season simply because of injuries. It was pretty thin there. But I'd expect Gabe Davis and De'Ami Brown to kind of fight for that wide receiver 2 on the outside, BTJ as your number 1, and then probably a good bit of Parker Washington in the middle. But I would be interested to see if they use De'Ami Brown more in the slot than maybe he was used there in Washington.
Daniel Griffiths, our guest, taking a look at some of these new free agents. Unfortunately, because of time, we won't have the opportunity to do them all. But there's 2 more players I want to ask you about. The biggest surprise for me was slot corner Jordan Lewis, because I was under the impression they were set there with Jarian Jones. I know you put out his snap count inside, outside. Just give us your thoughts on Jacksonville making him the highest paid slot corner.
Yeah, in terms of in a vacuum, I love it. I think he's a really, really good player. So that's always good to have good players on your football team. But Jarian Jones played a lot of outside corner at FSU. Maybe that's something that the new Jaguars brass is looking at. And, they have the opportunity to have 3 really good corners if they want to go that route. We'll see how successful Jarian Jones is. Obviously, time will tell there. But, I at least feel comfortable that the Jaguars have 3 really good corners. How exactly they utilize that will be interesting. I'd imagine they'd move Jarian outside before Jordan Lewis. Mm-hmm. He's kind of already a multi-year established nickel corner. He's one of the best nickel corners. I think it was Gus Logue posted that him and Jarian were tied for 6th out of 90 corners in the slot and yards per snap allowed. That's really, really excited to see that Jaguars got 2 of the best interior corners. Hopefully Jarian Jones can come in next season and establish himself as an outside corner, or the Jaguars look for extra help, whether it's in the draft or the remaining free agents. But I really like Jordan Lewis. Yeah. I think, he's had some crazy interceptions, gets hands on the ball. So that's really exciting to see. The Jaguars secondary got a lot better.
Hey, the last one I'll ask you about is Patrick McCarry. You did a nice job defining his snaps at all 5 offensive line positions. We all believe he is now going to be a right guard. Unfortunately, that is the one with the least amount of snaps. Concerned about that? Or, they certainly paid him as if they're not.
I don't think so. I think when you have a guy like Patrick McCarry who's just got so much experience playing everywhere, I think that really helps you. He's played a good bit, the second most of any of the positions at left guard, but he's played over 650 career snaps at 4 of the 5 positions. I'm not really too concerned about that. The Jaguars are really in need of a versatile player that can play at all 3 interior positions. They kind of had that with Tyler Shatley, but that's since no longer the case. And Patrick McCarry can be that but so much more. He can be a quality starting right guard with the ability to move elsewhere if needed. That's a player that I'm really excited for, and a player that comes from a Baltimore offensive line that's a bunch of bullies.
Oh yeah, and Jacksonville needs that. They need some tough guys in there, and hopefully a little bit of nasty. All right, in our final moment, is there anything yesterday that either surprised you that the Jaguars did or that the Jaguars did not do?
Probably the most surprising one to me is Eric Murray. I really liked a lot of the safeties in free agency, and Eric Murray wasn't really one that was on my radar. I'm going to have to go more into evaluating him. PFF is really metrically down on him, and Next Gen Stats looks at him a lot more favorably. So I need to really go in there. It's pretty rare that two data sources are on completely opposite sides of the goalposts there. So that's going to be something that I'm really interested to look at. Last year, he had 75 tackles and 10 passes defense. So he was getting his hands on the ball as a defender a lot more this past year than in years prior. But at the same time, you're asking a 31-year-old to come in and be one of your leading veterans in the secondary. And I'm interested to see how that shapes out, as well as the opposing safety position, which has some question marks around it as well.
He is a contributor for the Action News Jacksonville, but we love him here on 92.5 FM as well. You can follow Daniel Griffiths. Just go to @DanDGriffiths on Twitter and/or X. Hey, we got a lot more to do here, Daniel. We'll get you back on real soon, and we'll get some more of these Jaguars free agents. Appreciate your work and your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
There he goes, Daniel Griffiths. I admire the young kid. Puts a lot of effort into it, numbers wise. I'm still trying to come to grips with all of these numbers, all of the analytics, and everything that is happening in sports today. Right? But you gotta change with the times, man. I still have that gut feel and have that old school in me, but the way of the future is supporting these numbers. And Daniel Griffiths brings up some really interesting points. We only got to really talk about 3 players today. All right, Dynami Brown, Patrick McCarray, and Jordan Lewis. We'll take a look at some more of these players as I do move forward, and we will certainly do that with Daniel Griffiths. All right, 3 ways you can join us tonight. The rail man from CT. I believe he's still in Connecticut. Says hello, Rickle. Hello to you. Jags for Life for James. Teflon John. Samuel, yes. I mean, the list just goes on and on. YouTube, we love you. You can get us 1010XL into the night on YouTube. Also, the text line, 641-1010. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And you can get us on Twitter or X. Just go to 1010XL.
A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialist for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialist take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
It's time to keep the party going. All parrot heads unite once again with Jimmy Buffett's Coral Reefer Band.
It's 5 o'clock song.
Live in Jacksonville.
Wasted away again.
Daly's Place, Saturday, March 15th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Let's keep the party going with a tribute to Jimmy Buffett featuring the Coral Reefer Band. One night only, Saturday, March 15th, Daly's Place.
Ballou here for Spunez Vision. Why Spunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Spunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Spunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Spunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SpunezVision.com today. care you can see.
Here's Linda Beaver.
At Beaver Toyota, we believe your experience should be more than just buying a car. It should be a lifetime of confidence, care, and trust. We're proud to offer a lifetime warranty, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. We're not just here to sell you a car. We're here to establish a lifelong relationship that you can always count on. It's simple. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for less. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, where we're ready to give you peace of mind for a lifetime. We're here to wow you.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
It's ET here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts, sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
If your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Florida homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Universal Roof and Contract protects your home and your wallet. Invest in a stronger roof and save big. Spend $6,000 and get up to $600 off. $15,000 up to $2,000 off. $20,000 up to $3,000 off. This deal ends March 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
DUI? BUI? Don't stress. Call me Malcolm Anthony at 2854-LAW. That's 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Had to slam a coffee. And I know that for many of you, that's a go-to during Into the Night because the show is so damn boring. But man, I was up early today. Got to the golf course, enjoyed a day at the Players, and needed a little pick-me-up. before the start of the show. Thank you to Daniel Griffiths. Let's get to our nightly Players Spotlight. It is brought to you by the good folks at One Call Lawn Pest Control. And, men and women certainly do appreciate beauty. And there's something about an outstanding golf course that is just breathtaking. Whether it's here or anywhere, you just see photographs or whatever it may be if you're watching the television. Love, the freshly cut lawns and the beautiful fairways and the bathtub-type greens, if you will. But what about your lawn? I've had One Call Lawn Pest Control working on mine for quite some time. We just went through a winter, so it's probably gray right now. You need some repair. You need some fertilizer. You need some treatment to get things cranked up. But I'll tell you, it got into the high 70s today and maybe even 80. And before you know it, right here in Duval, it's going to be hot. So go to the folks I go to, One Call Lawn Pest Control, and just give them a call or text anytime at 413-8377. That's 413-8377. One Call Lawn Pest Control today. They give us the spotlight on Scotty Scheffler. Had an opportunity to listen to him talk to the media today. Very lengthy press conference. I'm guessing it went on for 35, 40 minutes or so. Of course, 13 PGA Tour wins, including 2 majors. Actually won 7 times on the PGA Tour in 2024, and he is now a 2-time defending champion at the Players. He's won the last couple. Did it in 2023, did it in 2024. We'll check in with the Boston Capper here in about 15 minutes and check the odds and whether or not they believe he can respond and win again in 2025. After being injured, got a paycheck last week at Arnold's tournament, but certainly was not playing his best golf. 4 starts here lifetime. That's it. At the Players Championship. Back in 2021, he didn't even make the cut. He was gone on a Friday afternoon. 2022, he was tied for 55th, and then he won it in 2023, and he turned around. He won it last year. He shot an 8 under on a Sunday to win the Players' Championship by 1 stroke over Xander Schauffele. Let's see, Clark and Harmon also came in at 19 under par as well. So those 3 were tied for second place. There you go. That's the very latest on Scotty Scheffler. And look at some of these tee times. The live hurts it. It does. I mean, Tiger, obviously, is not around. He announced today he had surgery on a ruptured Achilles. Phil Mickelson's not around. Some of the aging stars of yesteryear are long gone. And then you, on top of that, take a look at those who are playing over on the Live Tour. And some of these names are not household for a lot of casual fans of the PGA Tour. There are some really interesting pairings coming up. Let me give you 4 in a row that begin on Thursday off of the first tee late in the afternoon. I'm mentioning this because of Gator fans. Billy Horschel is going out with Harris English and Justin Rose. Okay? At 129, it's Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, and Xander Schauffele. The galleries there are going to be incredible. That's followed up by Colin Morikawa. Let one get away at Arnold's Place. Just flat out let it escape during that tournament on Sunday. So Morikawa, Adam Scott, a former Players champion, and Tommy Fleetwood. And then the final threesome, Keegan Bradley out of Vermont. Not a lot of golfers out of Vermont. Ricky Fowler, again, I followed him a little bit earlier today, and Patrick Cantlay. So those 3 going off at 151 off of the first tee on Thursday. A couple of other groups that I did highlight that I think there'll be a lot of folks following. That'll be at 8:24 Thursday morning off of the 10th tee. Ludwig Oberg, who now calls Jacksonville home, the former Texas Tech star who lived for quite some time in Tallahassee. I'm told he's here now. Hideki Matsuyama, Justin Thomas. Again, that's at 8:24. At 8:35, Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, and Victor Hovland. And then at 8:46, off of the 10th tee, Thursday morning, you have Wyndham Clark, Jason Day, and Jordan Spieth. So just giving you a couple of the pairings beginning on Thursday. 20 under par is too much to win a Players' Championship. I love what we saw last week at Arnold's, at Bay Hill. They came back down to earth a little bit. And we'll see. I walked the grounds today. I mean, the rough is thick as you would always expect. There was some pretty decent wind out there today, and that's always going to be the biggest factor for these golfers. And, we'll see how much they water the greens. I really don't check weather much. I just don't. But obviously, if we do get some rain, then that is just going to soften up the greens. But 20 under par is too much for me. And, I'm not going to sit here over the next 4 days and complain about it. I don't have that in me. It is what it is. These golfers are so good nowadays. But I will tell you that I love it when the golf course is the boss. I love it when the golf course says, hey, I'm playing par today. Let's see what you can do. And I love tournaments where par is a good score. I don't see that being the case. 20 under is too much, Dylan. I'm looking at this last year. Let me see. Total golfers under par for the 2024 Players' Championship. 63 golfers ended up in red figures. We had 4 golfers at even par. And then we had only 2, 4, 5, 6 golfers over par. I mean, obviously, you had the cut on Friday. I'm talking about the final, out of the final 73 golfers, okay? Only 6 shot over par at the 2024 Players' Championship. I wish scores were a little bit more back to norm, if you will.
Yeah, I like a winning score to be around 5 under par, 7 under par. We're definitely not getting that this weekend.
No. Who's anyway, I've always said my favorite is the year that David Duval won that tournament because he just, he went to the right side of the pen. And we saw that a couple of years ago with Cameron, what's his name now in the Live Tour? Cam Smith. He went to the right of the 17th pin on Sunday with that normal Sunday pin placement. I mean, just the berries, man. The berries in a situation like that to go pin hunting with a tournament on the line is absolutely spectacular. As we head to this break, let me find this for you. I got this today over at the Media Center and the Players' Championship. Since 2003, any idea how many balls in the water? Since 2003. Now, this is only in tournament play. This is only during the Players' Championship. So from 2003 on, 25, that's what? 23 Players' Championships. Any idea how many balls in the water at 17?
I remember one year the wind was really bad. I want to say
the year that Shane Lowry had the hole-in-one out there.
Yeah.
That was insane.
The players couldn't even wear their hats. It was so windy. I'm going to just say 65.
How about 1,029?
Wow.
1,029.
Best players in the world.
Total balls in the water on 17 during the Players' Championship. So there were a lot of folks out there today. I walked by just enjoying the sun and having some cocktails and taking in this outstanding week. So our shows are out there all week. I've actually elected for the first time ever to come back here to the studio. I feel like with the leaderboard and with the television, it's a lot easier to do the show here where we are. The cell phone doesn't always work, and the access to the TV is not ideal. So I've asked to come back, and we'll see how it works, but I'm looking forward to doing it this year back in the studio and being out there, obviously, all morning and into the afternoon as I did today. All right, coming up next, let's stay with the players. Let's bring in the Boston Capper. Let's handicap the 2025 Players Championship. After that, let's get back to Jaguars free agency. We got another whole hour waiting. We call it Into the Night.
It's the season of sandals and sundresses.
And the Players Championship.
Listen for 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Dramagnify.
And Kingfish Pest Control.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, you know, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow, I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but...
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not looking at the rear-view mirror of unforgiveness. It's so easy to keep looking in the past when someone has hurt or offended us. What we don't realize is that if we keep looking at the rear-view mirror of anger, it will cause us to miss out on the good things that God has in store right in front of us. Friends, looking in the rear-view mirror of the past will never give you peace in the present.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
Hacker here, and as most of you know, I'm now in Awaken 180's free maintenance support for life. 122 pounds gone, and that number on the scale hasn't crept up a pound. I didn't just choose Awaken 180 because of the weight loss. I chose Awaken 180 to keep the weight off. I wasn't going to put in the work, the highs, the achievements, just to watch it slip away after the program stopped. I wanted a solution, and boy, I sure found it. Awaken 180 is life-changing and life-altering. Over 120 pounds down in just 10 months. Now I'm in the maintenance program. I still get the coaching that I need. I still get the motivation that got me 120 pounds down, and I'm not gaining it back. If it's time for you to lose the weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Just an incredible day at the Players' Championship, no doubt about it. Obviously a practice round, but a lot of good folks out there today. Also heard from some of the top golfers. They were in the media room. Scotty Scheffler, a very long media session. Of course, he spent time on the shelf. He has come back. He did not play nearly as well as he wanted to last week at Bay Hill. The big question is, can he repeat again? Can he do it for a third time? And it would be 3 in a row. The only 3-time winner ever at the Players' Championship is Jack Nicklaus. And, of course, he did that across the street. Let's handicap it. Let's do it with our good buddy. He, of course, is the Boston Capper. And he joins us here on 92.5 FM. Boston Capper, how you been?
I've been good, man. How are you? It's been a while.
Man, I'm doing all right. I'm obviously bummed out that Brad Marchand is now gone the other way and is playing for the – we'll see if he's actually playing tonight. I've been covering golf all day and doing the NFL if he's out there playing in Boston tonight or if they're going to give him another couple of games off. But I was very disappointed by that move, Boston Capper.
Yeah, so was I. I mean, look, I get it. Like, they want to turn the page from the Bergie and Marchand era, but one, we didn't get anything back. And the man wanted to play. And it sounded like they were only like $500,000 off a year.
Yeah,
it's just typical Jacobs family garbage, right? Like they kind of changed a little bit, but they don't change this. Tigers don't change their stripes, and the Jacobs are just inherently cheap, and they only care about their home playoff gate, and they don't care if we actually make a run at the cup. And Sweeney should have been fired 5 years ago, and now he's going to get another chance to rebuild and screw the next 7 drafts.
For those who don't know who Don Sweeney is, he's the Trent Baalke of the National Hockey League.
There we go. Perfect.
And he calls the Boston Bruins his home. All right, let's move on. The Players' Championship. Right on the surface, let's begin with Scotty Scheffler. He's the odds-on favorite, a huge one here, plus 360. That's up a little bit from a year ago where he, of course, won 7 times on the PGA Tour. But, what do you make of Scheffler now coming back after this freak kitchen injury?
Yeah, I mean, so you saw it when he came out, right? The first tournament out, he had like a little case of the rights. He was a little loose with the irons, but definitely off the box, he was a little shaky, right? But then he comes back to the next tournament, he fixes that. He's a little shaky around the greens, and last week he comes back, his drive looks all right. He's good around the greens. Now he can't make a putt, so I feel like I'm rightfully terrified of betting against Scotty this week. I know that 3-peat is tough to do, but I feel like that's just kind of ancillary, right? It's kind of random. Yeah, I mean, he is in shape to do it. I mean, I think he hit every green on Sunday. He just could not buy a putt. We've seen his B- game, and he's still been hanging around the leaderboard. So
Yeah.
I'm rightfully scared of him.
Well, it's a little bit more reward. I know we've talked about this over the years. Typically, you don't play the favorite because you grind it out and you don't get a lot of return as far as the cash. But $100 now brings back $360. So is that something you're considering?
Nah, I got a disease, Rick. It's not going to do it for me. It's just maybe I can find some places to get him on my card, matchup wise or something like that. But just 4-1, it's not going to work for me. I mean, really, if I was just going to bet that, I mean, you might as well just do top 5, and that's basically even money. So 100 gets you 100 for a top 5, and then I wouldn't feel so gross about betting a 3-1 winner.
All right, another top golfer the only other top golfer I want to ask you about, he let it get away just 3 days ago, and that's Colin Morikawa. You can get him at plus 1,600. Does this man have it in him to come back here a week later and win a tournament?
So I'm not a big Colin Morikawa guy. Look, his skill set should fit here, right? Like he should be perfect here. He's great with his irons. He's not necessarily long off the box, but he's super accurate. And when his putter gets hot, he can get hot. But, I mean, he hasn't won in forever. The 2 big tournaments he won, one was a COVID major with no fans, and then one was a pretty easy British Open, right? I mean, there was no wind. It was him and Louis tearing up the course, and it was dome conditions. I call him a trackman golfer, right? So anytime there's any bit of adversity, he doesn't really know what to do.
What did you say? You call him what now? I'm sorry, Boston. I didn't hear you.
A trackman golfer.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, the trackmans that they use on the range, right? Checking their spin rate, this and that, and then if anything gets in the way, it throws him off his game and kind of messes with him. That conservative game plan on Sunday was terrible. Like it was a bunch of guys who couldn't win at the top, and somehow Russell Henley came out as the winner. It was crazy. I don't know. The number got steamed. I know a bunch of sharp people on him. The data golf guys love him. I'm not going to get there just because I don't trust him to be able to close the door. I mean,
the Boston Capper's our guest as we handicap the 2025 Players Championship right here on 92.5 FM. He says hell no to Colin Morikawa as well as Scotty Scheffler. All right, let's go down the leaderboard here a little bit or down the odds here a little bit. What excites you about beginning on Thursday, those 4 days? Where are you looking at this particular time, Boston Capper?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. I consider this a big boy golf test, and I want guys who are winners, right? And Decky at 30-1 being priced behind somebody who's never won in the United States and Tommy Fleetwood is insulting. It's a bad number. Now, I'm a little worried because I just heard a rumor today that there might be something wrong with his neck. But 30-1, the guy has good course history here. He's first round leader if they finish the round back in the COVID year.
But I watched him on the range today, and he didn't hit. He just stood there. And I was there for 10 minutes or so. Now, I'm not saying he didn't hit, but I was there I went back and forth, but I was out there, and he was with some coaches, and he was talking. But while I was there, he was not striking balls. Anyway, continue your thought.
Yeah, so I get some guys today, so I'll have to talk to them, and then I know tomorrow as well. But yeah, I mean, look, he's accurate. His irons, he's one of the best ball strikers in the world. When he clubs down, that 3-wood is a weapon for him. But it's the same thing with a lot of these guys, right? It's just the putting who's going to get hot. But I feel like at TPC Sawgrass, putting for guys like me and you, it's a nightmare. But guys for like them, it's relatively easy, and it's kind of negated. The accuracy with the irons and the approach game is much more important. And I love Decky's approach game, and I know he can close on a Sunday, and I know he can chase down people on Sunday, too.
All right, so you're going to play Hideki over Tommy Fleetwood?
Yes.
Okay. What else are you going to do, Boston Capper?
So I love Keegan Bradley. The last 2 times he's been out here, he's been cut. He was everybody's favorite 2 years ago before there was a specific mush in the media who mushed him. But I think he's going to have crazy confidence coming off of that 29 on the front 9 last week. He is also the perfect golfer here. Long and straight off the box, great iron player, and he's become a much better putter. I know it's super annoying to watch these guys do aim point and take 10 minutes to make a putt, but it's really helped him. And at 50-1, he's a major winner. He's won a bunch last year. He's the captain of the Ryder Cup team. And I think he might be trying to play himself onto the team as a player captain And at 50-1, those are the type of bets.
All right, there you go. Keegan Bradley, 50-1, according to the Boston Capper. He likes that. Anything else you getting set to play beginning on Thursday?
So some of the long shots I like. I just started looking at the tee times for the first round leaders, but I want to wait till that wind report comes in a little closer, looking at that super wind finder. But some long shots, top 20s. A guy who's been playing really well, plays well here. Denny McCarthy for a top 20, almost 3-1. I feel like that juice is worth the squeeze. The guy's the best putter on tour, and he's short off the box. But how many eagles does this guy get? He is lethal with those woods, man. So I love Denny McCarthy, almost 3-1 for a top 20.
Denny McCarthy. All right, I'll put him down for you. As we let you go, do you consider anything else? I know you just mentioned first round scores. Do you play any of that stuff? Who's going to make the cut? Who's not going to make the cut? What the overall, last year 20 under won the Players Championship. Maybe something foolish like how many balls in the water on 17. Do you play any of those type of props?
Yeah, so in tournaments like this, I typically do. But Rick, I don't know if you know, but the Hard Rock is horrible stuff. And they don't offer very much because they have no retail competition. So a lot of the stuff I have to lay off to my buddies up north.
You need to visit Big Al over there on the docks in Mayport, man. He'll take your bet for the most hole balls in the water.
Yeah. So if you actually see what's funny is a lot of these sportsbooks this year, they took it off of just 17 and they did balls in the water for the whole tournament. So it's a lot higher to calculate. You're gonna have to do a lot of work to figure out how many balls went in the water. So I think people are avoiding that. But winning score is something we've been looking at a lot. And at the Inside Sports Network, I got some sharp guys over there. I think we've hit like 4 weeks in a row. I usually wait for somebody smarter than me to tell me where the number's going to be, and I usually just blindly follow the math nerds on stuff like that who understand the golf course, right?
Yeah.
But fun bets, man. Like I'll always do first round leaders. I'll do matchups. I mean, listen, you name it, I'll bet it. I try to keep my outright bet in to get back 15 units no matter who I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I allocate depending on the tournament. Sometimes I like positional placements. Sometimes I like matchups. But it just depends on the tournament. And I attack it from there. You going to be out there at all?
Oh, yeah. I was out there today. I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow, but I'll be out there the rest of the week. How about you?
All right, sounds good, Mike. I'm going to be out there tomorrow. I think I want to get out there on Saturday because the wind looks like it's going to come up on Saturday afternoon, and I'm always there for the Diamonds.
All right. Hey, Boston Capper, how can golf fans follow you?
So on Twitter, I'm Boston_Capper. You can also find me on the Inside Sports Network. We cover golf really extensively. Heavy DFS. Lots of sharp guys over there. Very, very active Discord with a ton of degenerates screaming about Thursday AM bets. So if you're a degenerate and love betting on golf, it's a place for you.
That's our listening audience. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Boston Capper, always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
There he goes, the Boston Capper. And he's been very consistent with that philosophy over the years of why stressing out over a top-ranked golfer where the reward isn't really worth it. It's a little bit more this year for Scotty Scheffler at plus 360, making $360 off of a $100 bet. But do you believe he's going to win for a third consecutive time, especially after the way he played last week over at Bay Hill? I'm wondering about Colin Morikawa. I was interested, and that's why I asked. And you heard Boston Capital was like, no way. There's absolutely no way it's going to work for Colin Morikawa. Scheffler, plus 360. McIlroy, plus 800. Morikawa and Schauffele, plus 1,600. Ludwig Oberg, Justin Thomas, plus 2,000. Hideki, plus 3,000. 3,500s include Patrick Cantlay and Tommy Fleetwood. 4,000 Shane Lowry, last week's winner Russell Henley, plus 4,500. Give you a couple of other notables here. Jason Day, plus 6,500. Tony Finau, plus 7,000. Victor Hovland and Siwoo Kim, plus 7,000. Remember, Siwoo Kim won at the age of 21 out at the Players' Championship, the youngest ever to win the Players. Former Seminole Daniel Berger, plus 7,000, excuse me. Jordan Spieth, plus 8,000. Tom Kim, plus 8,000. Followed Tom Kim around the golf course a little bit earlier today. Zalatoris, plus 800. Excuse me, plus 8,000. Adam Scott in his 20th career start, plus 9,000. Anyone else I want to mention? Ricky Fowler plus 11,000. Imagine that. That's a paycheck. Now, that's a risk. Lay down $100. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay? I'm not telling you what to do. But if you can find a long shot here, that's what pays. And the question is, who? Where are you going to find it? I mean, the last guy ranked here is Billy Horschel, plus 15,000. Billy Horschel lives across the street. He lives in the Plantation. He's played this course a ton of times. I'm trying to think of local guys who've won here. What? Fred Funk, David Duvall. You can go back to Mark McCumber. Cam Smith, okay. Cam had been here for a little bit of time. Of course, McCumber's from here. Duvall's from here. Fred Funk moved here. But all the years we talked about Vijay Singh. I remember all the years we talked about, I can't even think of his name right now, from Pittsburgh. One of the most generous and nicest guys, Jim Furyk, on tour. It's hard to win a golf tournament. It's hard to win anything in athletics. But I tell you what's really hard is picking the winner. And I know we have these polls where you do it and you pick a guy and then you eliminate it and then pick another guy. And, you know, we'll do that tomorrow night. We'll have a little bit of fun with that on a Wednesday. But it's an interesting way to look at wagering on this. And, you know, it kind of leads into this week with conference tournament time in basketball. And then, of course, next week with everything that is going on with the NCAA tournament, where most of the general public plays chalk. They play the favorite. You know, the real students of the game, particularly with the mid-majors and the smaller conferences, they have a good feeling about a team that can pull off an upset, not only outright, but certainly if they're getting points against the blue blood. That is a way to make an incredible amount of money. Not necessarily here, and unless you can get into, and again, I don't bet anymore. I haven't bet in forever. But I got to imagine there are services that allow you to bet on whether or not they'll finish in the top 10, whether or not they'll finish in the top 20, whether or not they'll make a cut. Those are some things that you may want to consider as we head towards the Players' Championship. Okay, when we come back, let's get you involved with the program. Let me check oh my goodness, what is going on the text line? It's 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. That is burning up. Hello to all the folks on YouTube. You can get us there. Just go to 1010XL into the night. And, of course, on Twitter as well, 1010XL. With you tonight till 8 o'clock right here on this Tuesday.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Grinnell with time looking long down the field for Jimmy Smith, who's got separation, and he makes the catch. Touchdown!
The home of the home team you grew up with. 1010XL.
The 2025 NFL season is right around the corner, and the Jags are building something special. A fresh team, a new culture, and a stadium that's going to change the game. Be there to witness head coach Liam Cohen and the rest of the coaching crew in action by securing your season tickets today. Become a member to get access to exclusive experiences, VIP events, and more. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank this fall.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, Rural Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March, the Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase now through March.
Lifetime Enclosures.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods. San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
The First Tee Tour Card is back for 2025 and better than ever, with access to over 15 of North Florida's best courses and new this year, local participating businesses. This card is your ticket to saving hundreds. First Tee North Florida is a local nonprofit who build character in youth participants through the game of golf. This annual fundraiser enables this amazing organization the ability to build game changers. Grab your tour card for just $99 at tourcard.org. for a list of participating partners, benefits, and restrictions.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Your tax refund is here. Why not invest in your home? Superior Fence and Rail helps you build value with beautiful, durable fences that boost your home security, privacy, and curb appeal. With expert installation and financing options, turning your yard into an outdoor oasis is easier than ever. Reinvest in your home today with Superior Fence and Rail.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Little sister, don't you? Little sister, don't you kiss me once or twice and
Is this Elvis? Roy Orbison?
Little sister.
Huh?
Little sister.
Elvis.
Yep.
I didn't know you had it in you.
Sometimes I get tired of playing the same music in the system. I'm like, let's play something different.
There you go. And what's great about you is you play the hits. This is made in what, 1957? Yeah. Elvis created it. No doubt about it. Can you imagine being around during the days of Elvis Presley? Can you imagine being around now during the days of the Blue Crab House offering up $2 margaritas? That's what's going on right now. You can get a pitcher of margaritas for $9, and they are sensational. I typically stick with what works, but every once in a while, I get that wild burr, and I want a margarita. And the best in town is over at the Blue Crab House. They're open tonight till 9 o'clock. Remember, tomorrow night, $1 steamed oysters at the Blue Crab House, right off of Jointon Creek Road. They are located right there. San Jose and Jointon Creek Road. You can't miss them. Open 6 days a week, every day but Monday, till 9 o'clock at night. The Blue Crab House. Daniel Jones to the Indianapolis Colts. He will now battle Anthony Richardson. They made that move today, a one-year deal. So I just look within the division. A lot of interesting moves have been made. Indianapolis for sure. Tennessee, kind of overpaying or very much overpaying, depending on how you look at it as far as their offensive line. All of a sudden, you consider what Houston has done. They made the trade for Christian Kirk. They made the trade today for defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Yesterday, they moved left tackle Laramie Tunsil. So some pretty intriguing moves within the AFC South. I did see that before free agency began. Let me find it right here for you because I saved it. The odds within the AFC South to win the AFC South. Here we go. Houston was plus 100. Okay. Jacksonville plus 300. Indianapolis plus 320. Tennessee plus 900. So I don't know if anything switched dramatically over the last 2 days that would change that up. Certainly you have the draft coming up in 44 days. Without any question, you would expect a little bit of movement when that does come in. The Ravens have just announced that they have signed DeAndre Hopkins. 1 year, $5 million. He's an aging veteran. Kind of went away. Kind of a disappointment at the age of 32, I think, in a lot of people's opinion last year for the Kansas City Chiefs. 3800 says, love you, Rick, but Elvis was only a great performer, not a creator. Really? Okay. I think for the time, he did it all. Maybe you're saying he wasn't a great songwriter, a great lyricist. I don't know. I'll take your word on it. Funks Punks. Oh, yeah. Who can forget? 89-24. Yeah, absolutely. That was a great time with Freddie Funk. One of the real good guys to roll through here. Rick, did you get to see Gronk on 17 today? No, I did not. I was out at 17 for quite a bit. This is from the 35-93. No, I did not see Gronk. I heard that he was out there, though. So, listen, this is going to draw people from all over. And I'm not surprised that they are out there. Getting a lot of people talking about the Motley Crue, getting all sorts of different interesting stuff as far as music and weather and gambling on the Players' Championship. Trying to get back to some Jaguar stuff here. $32.99. Trade Trayvon for Hendrickson. Get a pure pass rusher paid now to save later. It's not as simple as that. It's going to take Trayvon Walker and what? You're going to give up the 5th pick? What is the asking price? That's what I wonder. We know for Myles Garrett, it would have been basically unaffordable. For Hendrickson, it changes a little bit, but I would love to know what the asking price is at this particular time. In regards to the Barnwell article that I mentioned the show with, if you have not heard, a lot of opinions in on free agency, including the Jaguars and their 9 selections yesterday, or 9 additions. Bill Barnwell of ESPN called Jacksonville the biggest loser in free agency. In regards to Barnwell from the 4235, isn't overpaying the definition of free agency? Absolutely. It is. I think what has affected some people here is they weren't big splash names. I had it yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. CBS Sports had their top 100 free agents, and the only 2 that listed the Jaguars was Patrick McCarry at 59 and Jordan Lewis at 74. And every entity has their own top 100 or whatever it may be. I just happened to pick one list. I picked CBS. If you look at so if these are the top 2 free agents, they both come with questions, right? Patrick McCarry is played all across the offensive line, and he's a guy that you would hope is going to bring some intensity, hopefully a little bit of nasty, and some consistency on that offensive line. But he has 672 career snaps at left tackle. He has 832 career snaps at left guard. He has 683 snaps at center. He has 1,206 snaps at right tackle. And the position that we all believe he was signed to play, right guard, he has 272 career snaps. Now, 272 career snaps is still a bunch. What do you get, 60 a game? But you're paying this man big money to come on in with a position that he has the least amount experience at. The other side of this is if anyone goes down, he can play that position. He can slide over to center. He can slide over to right tackle. And, just look at last year. Ezra Cleveland wasn't 100%. Brendan Sheriff wasn't 100%. Anton Harrison wasn't 100%. Walker Little always gets hurt. So that's a positive. And then the other guy, Jordan Lewis, that's the biggest surprise to me yesterday because I assumed that they were set at slot corner with Jarian Jones. So they paid Jordan Lewis the most amount of money ever as a slot corner, and he's not getting any younger. I mean, there are 2 additions to the secondary yesterday, both north of 30. Jordan Lewis will be 30 in August, and Eric Murray, the safety, will be 31. So they didn't get younger in the secondary, and you brought in Lewis to be the slot corner with, I guess, the hope that Jarian Jones can be on the island. Hopefully that is the case. 0924 Ballou. All the national media have been questioning us since the shameful front office transfer of leadership. Only local media have their head in the sand. There you go. 0924. We don't know what we're talking about. It's as simple as that. Who am I to argue? 0551 Blue. Brad Meester, all we got was Kurt and Ingram's replacing the draft. Nobody will care about this free agency. Probably. Of course they're going to care about it. You just added 9 roster spots. He's paid a lot of money. You may have done some pretty good things. You found a starting center who was a backup. We just talked about the right guard. You gave money to a wide receiver on a 1-year deal that has been a disappointment in 4 years, but had a strong playoff. Figures that he'll be a big part of the screen game of Liam Cohen. Also has the ability to make big plays and run downfield. We'll see. A couple of tight ends who block. Right? Backup quarterback, you need one. Defensively, we talked about it, aging a little bit at the corner position and at the safety position. You also added a backup swing tackle from Dallas. I still think they're going to add an edge. I still think they're going to add defensive edge 3 or 4. You know, they may address that in the draft. But right now, Jacksonville, I mean, and there's plenty of holes, and it just feels like Mason Graham is setting up to be the 5th pick in the draft. But I'll tell you something right now. You look at some of the moves that New England made. Are they still going to draft Travis Hunter at number 4? If Travis Hunter is there for the taking, brother, you have got to take him. Can you imagine the electricity in Duval if Travis Hunter is a part of this thing? And this is where I want to get away from the national media. And I want to remove my head from the sand and make this comment. I want to trust the new brass. I want to trust the new organization, front office and coaching staff, that if they draft Travis Hunter, they will do the right thing with him. Because you know, and I know, that if Trent Baalke was still here and they selected Hunter, and Doug Peterson and that Mickey Mouse coaching staff was still here, they would screw that thing up immensely. And, one of my draft analysts who I get on all the time, Destin Adams, based out of Indianapolis, told us that every scout he talked with, except for one, said they believe Hunter is going to be a wide receiver and not a DB. Yet every analyst we bring on this radio station, it's overwhelming. It's nearly unanimous. They believe he should be a corner. You're not going to be able to do both in pro football. You'll get killed. You just can't survive. You can't take the punishment. I don't know if anything Jacksonville's done here the last day changes it if you get Hunter. If they draft Hunter, I think he's your starting corner. He's your starting corner outside of Tyson Campbell. He is. Jarian Jones got to fight for some football. You got to fight for some time. Right? And maybe they put together some packages for him on the offensive side. Others will disagree and say, no. Put him on the opposite side of Brian Thomas Jr. Put him in nickel situation. Put him in dime. Well, they just went out and added a nickel yesterday. Put him in dime situation. But that's where I'm going to go. But am I wrong to say that? Don't you, Jaguar fans, don't you get that exact same vibe that if it was the former administration, they would screw that thing up without any doubt? I want to believe that this new front office and coaching staff will have had hours and hours and hours of discussions on this, conversations about this, bringing in other people in the Miller Electric Center. What do we do if he's there at 5? Where do we play him? Again, it's about collaboration, right? What if Cohen's like, oh, man, I need this guy on offense. Look at him. He's dynamic, even though he has small hands. And what if Gladstone's like, brother, he's got a chance to be a Hall of Fame corner. And Baselli's offering up his opinion, and Campanelli's offering up his opinion. And everyone is commenting on what they believe they should do. That includes their scouts. That includes people that we didn't even discuss here behind the scenes. I would absolutely, way more than free agency, love to be a fly on the wall during the draft. That must be spectacular to listen to those conversations, because all the pre-work that you put in, how much of that changes when the clock is ticking? To me, that is one of the most wonderful things that you could experience, and we'll see. But it kind of feels that way right now, doesn't it? That there's a chance all of a sudden he could fall. And, of course, Mason Graham continues to be the one that most Jaguar fans would like to see come here. All right, we got much more to do. With you up until 8 o'clock right here on this Tuesday night. It's great to have you with us. He's Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou.
Making spring a Jacksonville thing.
What a week.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Enhanced by
Dermagnify, medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology, San Jose Collision, and Doorbell Farms produce delivery.
Tired of supermarket produce that's traveled thousands of miles before you get it? Treat your family to farm-fresh, Florida-grown fruits and veggies delivered right to your home with Doorbell Farms. No supply chain issues or questionable origins, just seasonal produce handpicked from local farmers. Subscribe monthly and enjoy the best local farm produce delivered right to you. Sign up now at doorbellfarms.com. Connecting real people to real family farms. Doorbellfarms.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at Dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Enhance your home with Renewal by Anderson's exclusive 31-day spring event. Experience superior craftsmanship and timeless design with buy one, get one 40% off custom replacement windows and patio doors. Enjoy the ease of zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
It's about the hunt.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman. We take you from the water to the wood.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
Let's go to the woods, y'all.
Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Need the perfect spot to unwind with friends, family, or coworkers? Dart Bar on King Street. Darts, pool, air hockey, foosball, and more. Dart Bar has the games to keep the fun rolling. With 20 taps, 200 plus cans, and plenty of non-alcoholic options. Dart Bar has something for everyone. Plus, they host community events and leagues and can accommodate everything from company happy hours to milestone birthdays. Dart Bar is your go-to place for fun, drinks, and great times, no matter the occasion.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea.
Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control Bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
Florida heat is no joke. Is your air conditioner ready for it? At Duck Duck Air Conditioning, we've got a crazy offer just for you. We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. One of our expert techs will come look at your AC unit and make recommendations to ensure it's running at peak performance. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, after 9 signings yesterday, the Jaguars are quiet on this Tuesday, day 2 of the legal tampering period. Everything settles in tomorrow. That is when the league year officially does begin. The Jaguars, I would expect after 4 p.m. tomorrow, they will announce some of these signings. And, is there more work to do? The defensive line seems to be the one that most people are concerned about right now. Can they find a defensive tackle somewhere? Can they find perhaps a third or fourth edge? Right now, it absolutely feels like both of those positions are going to be taken care of in the draft. But, I think you can still add some players. And I don't think Jacksonville's done in free agency. It could be a later signing. I look at Ronald Darby a year ago. I'm trying to remember the time period there for Darby, but he was not one of the guys who came in when they brought in Gabe Davis and Eric Armstead and Mitch Morris and Darnell Savage and Devin Duvernay. So, there still is a time, and there could even be a flow, believe it or not, with some veterans after the NFL draft. But we do know that 9 positions filled yesterday, roster spots filled yesterday, and maybe as many as 4, possibly 5 starters signed yesterday. Zay Jones signed today, 1 year, $4.4 million in Arizona. Always a big fan of Zay. So I'm glad he's getting another opportunity. Andre Sisco gets a 1-year show-me deal with the New York Jets worth $10 million. So that came in as well today. Will Fries was a guy that we talked an awful lot about here on the radio. And he got 5 years, $88 million by the Minnesota Vikings. Just an incredible amount of money. Finally, at the Players' Championship practice round, really enjoyed my time out there today, watching quite a few golfers and also taking in some of the media interviews or PGA Tour interviews in the media center, including Scottie Scheffler, who is going to try to win for a 3rd consecutive year at the Stadium course. And that in itself is remarkable. Of course, last year, 20 under par, won the Players' Championship. So what is it going to take this year? If you didn't hear, Tiger Woods, who obviously is not here, but he ruptured his Achilles, and he had surgery on it today. He was practicing at home when it did happen, so he's on the shelf. I mean, the Masters is only, a month? Just about 1 month from now. So, his chances of winning another major are probably slim and none, but this guy's body is just completely broken down. And that includes the problems now with his Achilles. And again, he did have surgery on that a little bit earlier on this Tuesday. Bottom of the 5th in God's country. 15-0 Florida State, ranked 5th in America. 15-2 Florida, ranked 7th in America. Gators up 4-1 right now as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Both teams with 4 hits. Florida State has made an error, but 4-1 Gators in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Let me see if there's some other local scores. Miami getting trounced right now in Orlando by Central Florida, 9-3. That is in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Anything else that I do want to mention before we bring in Hacker Nation as far as baseball on a Tuesday? Not as many teams playing on Tuesday as you would expect. Nope, that's basically going to do it baseball-wise. Again, 4-1 Gators, bottom of the fifth inning.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, the Jaguars pretty silent today after an enormous day on Monday where they signed 9 players.
Yeah, they signed the most or agreed to terms with the most people in the National Football League, and only the Patriots were even close. I think the Patriots were at 8, the Jaguars were at 9. A couple of teams were at 6, then nobody else had 5 or more. So, it's interesting. We've heard a lot of talk about how close Jacksonville is, right? Well, maybe somebody didn't tell Liam Cohen and James Gladstone that, because they went out and brought in 9 players yesterday. They got 10 draft picks. Is that the actions of some people that believe this team was close last year? It doesn't seem like that on the surface.
No, it doesn't at all. And, I think one of the major gripes that I had is it seemed like last year's club went to that. Oh, we were close. We were a play here, a mistake there, almost comfortable with losing. I think this also is a big part of where Tony Baselli has come in. Just take that cloud of acceptance, get it the hell out of here.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the point I've made since the season ended. Look, I think it sounds good to say the Jaguars are close, and that makes people feel better about the situation. A team that's, quote, close doesn't lose 18 out of 23.
No.
All right, so I mean, and yeah, they've had injuries, but every team has injuries. So I think it was evident yesterday maybe how far away some people down there believe they are, because, again, they agreed to terms with more outside free agents than any other team in the National Football League. Now, they have some good pieces, and I really like what they did, and they play in a terrible division, and the Houston Texans have apparently decided they're just not going to block for C.J. Stroud this year, as they trade away Laramie Tunsil. They cut Shaq Mason. Today they trade away Kenyon Green. I mean, I don't really know what the Texans are planning on doing. I'm sure C.J. Stroud's interested in that as well. So it's a very winnable division, and it could have turned around quick, but clearly, based on the actions yesterday, they're not as close as maybe some have believed.
I tell you what, it doesn't matter in Houston because they're convinced with Gardner Johnson coming aboard, between him and Aziz, they're just going to knock out every starting quarterback in the NFL.
It'll be interesting, and it's not Eric Murray's battle necessarily, but he was on the team. It'll be interesting to talk to him once we have a chance to get to know him a little bit just about that whole situation, because that'll come up. I mean, he might have been on the field for all I know. He probably was on the field. Yeah. He started 14 games for the Texans. That'll be an interesting conversation to talk about that Aziz Al-Shire hit on Trevor Lawrence.
What's coming up? What do you got?
Mike DeRocco, ESPN.com. Love
Been
D-Rock.
all over the place.
Yeah, he did an unbelievable job yesterday. So we're going to have D-Rock on. And then March Madness, right? Mark Wise of the ESPN family of networks will preview the SEC tournament that gets underway tomorrow afternoon.
Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
Already looking forward to tomorrow night. It's the eve of the tournament. That's going to be tremendous. We'll have more golf analysis coming up during Wednesday's program. All right. We'll also have plenty on the Jaguars coming up tomorrow night. I have 2 scheduled Jaguar guests and 2 TPC guests scheduled. Thank you to Daniel Griffiths for joining us tonight. If you missed that, you missed some pretty intriguing stuff on some new members of the Jags. Also, the Boston Capper gave us his thoughts from a betting perspective on this year's players. That's going to do it. I don't check the text line or YouTube now that the show is over, but you can always get me on Twitter at Ballou1010XL. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. Have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.